Folks, welcome back to a new week. This is your Pop Culture Roundup. We have her back again, fresh off the Bezos wedding overseas. You heard her partner on Snarkbait, Christy, last week, and I was on Snarkbait, and hopefully I didn't tank that podcast too much. I also want to warn you guys up top that there might be some mic issues, unfortunately. It seems like there's some static, so I want you to know that we're aware. Unfortunately, hey, we're not Nick Viall over here. We don't have a full studio, so I apologize. We'll do as much in post to fix that. So anyways, the one and only Sophie Ross Brooks is with us. Sophie, how are you?
Hi, I'm happy to be back. Thank you for holding down the fort last week with, Christy on Snarkbait.
With the old ball and chain Christy.
The old ball and chain. I was like, how was it? Obviously, she wasn't going to say it was bad. Even if she thought it was. But she was like, Ryan fucking cracks me up. She said that she was laughing so hard the entire time. I mean, I listened to it and she was.
I like that she Ryan cracks me up so much. So that could be of like your mentally slow adult friend that you're like, I just get such a funny, weird. Oh, that kid. Oh,
laughing at you.
Yeah, exactly. He's had such struggles in his life, but he made it through. No, that was such a pleasure to be able to do both of those. And I have to say, I always thought you were the stronger one. Now I have switched to Christy as the stronger one.
Oh, you're team Christy?
I think I'm team.
I would love to. Ship?
I would love to. All it took was a week, actually. And I was within halfway through the podcast. I was like, oh, no, Christy is definitely the best one on Stark.
Oh, she definitely is. I agree with that for sure.
So remind people that don't listen to Snarkbait where you were. You just got back on Wednesday, and you are dealing with a throat issue right now.
Yeah.
But I saw your whole family. Where were you?
Got my throat spray for our YouTube watchers, so you might see me doing that.
Is this like a Sheena Shay ad for Preparation H? Did you just do a Chloraseptic ad on the podcast?
Exactly. I was in Lisbon and Mallorca, and I was with my husband, Henry, and then my sister and her husband. So it was a little siblings trip. And I had never been to Portugal before. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Like, I had no idea what I was missing. I'm obsessed with pastel de natas, which are the little egg custard tarts. Like, I had 10 a day. I'm addicted to them. Now I'm like trying to find them everywhere in New York.
What was your vacation drink?
Oh my God, what was my vacation drink? Oh, you know what? I can't drink wine in the US because of the sulfites. Fun fact about me, I don't drink wine. Like, I'm a beer girl, like, not to be like a pick me, but like, I drink beer, I drink cocktails. I do not drink wine. I can drink wine in Europe because it doesn't have the sulfites in it. It's crazy.
Yeah, over there, I when I went to I was a real big gin and tonic drinker over there when I went to, like, they would like do this big, like, G&Ts were everywhere when I went to.
Actually, you're right. Gin is very popular there. You're right.
Yeah. So
I
it was
love
a great
sangria. Oh my God. Because again, I don't drink wine in the US. So like I was really going crazy with the sangria and just like, oh my God, it was good.
So what kind of pop culture traveled over there? What did you hear in terms of US pop culture overseas?
There were so many things. We actually talked about on Dark Energy Tuesday, Alex Cooper singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I was like, I cannot wait to talk about this.
So you guys, Alex Cooper, of course, from Call Her Daddy, did a she did the seventh inning stretch, Take Me Out to the Ball Game at Wrigley Stadium. And she, I think, purposely tried to be funny. And she was like, take me out to the ball. And she had her two friends on her side. And she was like doing a little bit. And it just didn't play well with the audience. She was getting multiple boos.
Like, are you 12? Like, doing a deep voice is something that like a little girl would be like, haha, I'm so funny.
Well, see, that's what it was like when we used to do talent shows in our basements as kids.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, okay, you made a choice, but you also made a choice. See, this is where I get with pop culture nowadays. I'm like, did you make a choice knowing that it would be hated and that it potentially could be a little bit more of a soundbite than you just singing normally? Because then we talk about it, we trash it, that clip got passed around a lot. So I was like, is that purposeful in how bad it was? Was that a decision on purpose? Or did she really just think she was that funny and she could pull it off?
I think she thinks that she's funny, which is crazy. It's just like, I don't understand. Like, she's not funny. She's not a good interviewer. She's not, I guess her talent is like her hustle, I guess. But like what?
Which, by the way,
so
great hustle.
by her.
Solid
great hustle. Amazing hustle. I don't know. And then also, I never watched the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion with Nick Viall.
Oh, I did.
Because I was traveling, and then I mentioned it to a bunch of people, and they were like, don't even bother watching it. It was so boring.
It was I mean, listen, I know we get on here and we sometimes make fun of Nick Viall. I want to try to be positive in the sense that he didn't ask dumb questions. I think it was just the energy level in which he did it. It became such a slow paced instead of exciting hour and that 40
he's
minutes.
A smug asshole. And also his podcast episodes are like 4 hours. Like he does 4 hours.
Hey, 4 hours. Hey, that's all right. I think long forms are pretty cool.
It's different when you do it though, because you're fun and funny. He's neither of those things.
Well, but at the same time, if you separate the actual content, which is kind of to our Alex Cooper thing, is that's still a huge opportunity. Whether he was good or bad, I don't even know how much that matters because he has presented himself as the face of a Hulu, reunion show. So I imagine they're not going to switch course at any time. So I think I think he's going to keep getting those opportunities. It almost does not matter if you are good or bad in those situations once the river gets going.
I don't think it matters if you're good or bad, I guess. I think it matters how the audience reacts to you as a host.
Yeah.
Like I think the audience, I saw some people say, I was pleasantly surprised. I saw some people say he was so biased and annoying. Most importantly, I saw when they announced it, how many people were pissed off at that announcement. Yeah. And so I would actually be surprised if and this is maybe just like wishful thinking, but like I would be surprised if this is like happens again for him.
See, I think it will definitely happen for him again. I think you can't put the rabbit back in the hat. It's like, and I think good or bad, people were talking, but I will say to your point, it did drop off immediately. Like I heard people talk about that reunion for 4 or 5 days and then it's just kind of disappeared. Like,
4 or 5 days. I feel like I heard people talk, and I know that I was like on vacation and shouldn't have been on my phone or caring, but of course I was.
You're professional.
I feel like it was like 5 minutes that people cared about the reunion.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't hear a single like revelation from it.
Well, there was actually some decent things that were getting revealed or like getting to the heart of the matter of the second season, which was a fantastic second season of Mormon Wives. But it is funny. Like sometimes that's what I said. It makes you truly appreciate somebody like Andy Cohen, where it really is like a ringleader, a circus kind of like big, like, hey, even if they have shitty, like even if housewives don't show up to the reunion like this year with Brittany on Atlanta, he still makes it exciting and fun. And there is just a way in which he attacks things that he gets shit on a lot too. But I think when you see somebody like Nick's performance compared to Andy, it's like no comparison.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So anyways, Alex Cooper, obviously, but this is my thought with pop culture is that right now, if I'm scrolling on TikTok, anywhere online, especially with like Love Island discourse, there is such a negative. I mean, I think it's just a product of obviously the times that we're in right now, but it is so fucking negative that I found myself the most happy I've been this weekend was watching people with their clips of the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere doing the Millennium.
I saw that. People were really, really, really excited about that. Really,
but like,
happy.
I kind of dig, like, it's like, oh, people are genuinely happy. And I love that finally the technology has caught up with the fact that the Backstreet Boys have such a fixation with space. And that it really did seem like they were on a spaceship at the Sphere. And I saw women and men losing their ever-loving minds. And that's the kind of pop culture I love, where it's just unabashed kind of joy. And, you know, I didn't see a lot of things like Nick didn't hit that high note on Larger Than Life. Like none of that. It was just everybody really excited because everything else, Sophie, is just, I mean, everybody is at each other's throats in pop culture. Do you agree or do you think that's
No, I agree. I was an NSYNC girl. So
no, by the way, all honesty, all joking aside, I was an NSYNC guy. I bought No Strings Attached the first day it came out on CD.
Same. Who would be, besides NSYNC, I guess, who would be like your dream Sphere, like nostalgia artist.
Counting Crows, baby. No, that
Yeah.
no. I mean, they'll never get that invite. But you always do try to play. Like, I think Beyonce would be amazing at the Sphere, even though there's no way, because even though it's like 17,000 people, she's only going to do stadiums from here on out. But it's such a specific space to sing in for the artist. Like, I've seen U2, Fish, and Dead and Company there, and the Eagles, and you have to have like a really phenomenally like kind of I think the Backstreet Boys were a perfect choice because it brought that fan base out. And now I think NSYNC would be perfect, but I think now NSYNC would not do it because Backstreet Boys did it first.
Ooh. I know that Ashley Simpson is actually, I think she's performing in Vegas. Christy is going. I can't go, unfortunately. I would love to see Ashley Simpson at the Sphere. That autobiography album went triple platinum in my childhood bedroom.
On a Monday. By the way, Sophie, we have such an age difference, and this is why I think we get along to, is that that was a huge album in my household as well. That's a phenomenal album.
You were like 35.
I was on a watch. I was on a watch list for loving that album so much. Well, I mean, speaking of that, Kelly Clarkson canceled her first weekend in Vegas, and she started performing this weekend in Vegas. But Kelly Clarkson is another artist. She's obviously already in Vegas. I would love to see her at the Sphere. I mean, she is, I think, just one of the best voices. I've seen her live twice.
Breakaway was my high school graduation song. Oh my God.
High school graduate. That was my retirement song. What are you talking about? Like that was
your 20-year high school reunion song.
That was played at my funeral. What are you talking about? Like
Make
since
a wish.
You've been gone. Oh my God, Since You've Been Gone at my funeral, but it's slowed down. Like Since You've Been Gone.
Acoustic version. Taylor's version.
Starting strong, folks. Okay, so we have a lot of news to cover, and I don't know where to start. Well, since you were in Mallorca, I don't know if you bumped into a trio.
Hilaria Baldwin's parents.
Well, no, not Hilaria Baldwin's parents, but Gayle, Oprah, and Kris Jenner did an amazing photo shoot in Robert Cavalli Skims flowing outerwear on a yacht, and Kris Jenner did a collaboration post with Gayle King on Instagram today, and that thing is getting brutalized in the comments. And it's like, come back to earth, Gayle. Come back to earth. It is giving let them eat cake. It is like, I am so disappointed in Oprah, and I don't dislike Kris Jenner, but it truly is like when you get so out of touch that I think we live in a society where showing off your riches and your baubles is not hitting the way it used to. And they are still vacationing from Jeff Bezos' wedding. And Gayle just went to space on Jeff Bezos' dime, and she thinks she's an astronaut now, which is fine. But Oprah, really? Have you abandoned us?
I think I said this recently when we were talking about Oprah. I was like, she has had such a fall, in my opinion, in terms of being someone that people really looked up to and respected. Yes. I think maybe part of it is that she was really good friends with Harvey Weinstein. Like, well, she was with so many pictures of them at parties together, which I understand that he was like a titan in Hollywood and that he was friends with everyone.
He gave a lot of money to all of their little foundations and things like that.
Right. I think also it's that she is just always at the scene of the crime. It feels like she was at Jeff Bezos' wedding, obviously. You had to, she was so drunk that you had to carry her off the dance floor.
Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. And then she was like, I'm not wearing panties. And I was like, what are you talking about, Oprah? Stop. Like, it's not the time. Like, Orlando is over there. I'm like, so it's like, it is so funny when it's like, maybe I just don't think that's hitting like it once did about showing all of your riches online.
Oh,
it is
absolutely
so out
not.
of touch.
Absolutely not. We're in a very different time than we were in like the 80s or 90s. I know, like, I wasn't born yet. Brian, you can tell us what it was like.
Well, Sophie's on a real I'm young kick, and I just have to tell her that is not whatever kick that is. She needs to get off it. It is your pal Ryan once again to talk about the amazingness that is Quince. Listen, as you know, I'm not into chasing trends, but I am all about stuff, and especially as I'm on my health journey, that fits right, feels good, makes you look great and it actually lasts. And that is why I keep coming back to Quince. I have used them now for over 4 years. Their lightweight layers, their high quality staples have become my everyday essentials. Look at the, if you're watching this right now, look at it. This is a lightweight, breathable, beautiful navy sports jacket that I'm able to fit in again. And it has lasted for 4 years and it is beautiful. Quince has the kind of stuff you'll actually wear on repeat, like breathable flow knit polos, crisp cotton shirts, and comfortable lightweight pants that somehow work for both weekend hangs and dressed up dinners. And the best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. Go to their website, you will see. They do this by working directly with top artisans and cutting out that middleman. Quince gives you luxury pieces without the markups. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I use this. You need to be using this too. You go to the website right now, quince.com, and you are going to be walked through men's clothing, women's clothing, baby and kids, gifting. Everything that you need is right there for your choosing. So, stick to the staples that last with elevated essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/SoBad for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/SoBad to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/SoBad. And I'm on the website right now. I'm literally going to buy something right after I finish. Okay, bye.
No, but like, it's a different time. It really
Yeah.
is. It's like the world is on fire.
Yes.
The economy fucking sucks. I had $100 in my checking account yesterday. I work a full-time job. I work a couple jobs at this point. I had $100, but like, this economy is not okay.
Yeah, and by the way, I think it's okay to say the things that are like factually correct. Like, it's like, and by the way, the people listening, I think you feel it too. I think we're all feeling it somewhat financially, somewhat moralistically,
Like,
all of these
if
things.
you don't live paycheck to paycheck, like, you're doing great because it's just like the economy is fucking terrible right now.
And then you have these streamers. I was on the side of TikTok of like Aiden Ross, that kick streamer that gets paid like, $30 million here. And I was watching one of his Chrome Hearts spending spree for his Maybach. And this kid is like 25 years old. Drake sent his private jet to fly him and his goofball friends to the Wireless Music Festival overseas because Drake did headline that fest like 3 nights in a row, which I want to talk about in a second. And he was spending like $20,000 per Chrome Hearts pillow to put in the back of his Maybach. And I was like, this is insane. And he just streams his entire life. And this kid is dumber than rocks, yet he has built up such an insane fan base on like platform like Kick and things like that.
Crazy. It's so crazy how, and this is like a bigger conversation, but like how kids growing up would want to be doctors or astronauts or it's like now everyone wants to be a YouTuber or an influencer
or a Love Island contestant
because those people live the most extravagant lives for doing, and I'm not saying it's not hard work to do those things. I know that a lot of influencers and YouTubers work extremely hard, but still it's like you look at those people living extravagant lives. I would want to be a YouTuber if I were like growing up today.
One, I think the accessibility too with those kids watching that is that they're not particularly smart. They're not they're just doing it. They've built a platform.
Exactly. It's like the accessibility of it. It's democratized like financial success.
Even to Alex Cooper. And Nova, I'm not saying Alex Cooper is dumb, but I'm also not saying she's like this mental giant.
Or super talented or funny or interesting.
Well, I think there is talent in just like the doing of something. So I will kind of push back.
Fair.
But like you watch these kids and obviously it's not meant for me, but I think it feels reachable to those kids watching in some way. But Drake did the headline 3 nights at the Wireless Festival. And the second night he's been bringing out all of these crazy artists to like do like, songs and all that. Last night, he brought out Vanessa Carlton to play 1,000 Miles. And I got to tell you, it got me. I was Drake's not that bad. Drake's all right. He's all right.
Vanessa Carlton is someone that I would want to see at the Sphere.
Kendrick Lamar, you have 24 hours to respond with a
Michelle
feature
Branch.
for Michelle Branch. Yeah. But I heard that Vanessa Carlton came out on her piano of like ding, 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 making my way down, and I was like, oh my God,
I would lose it. I would go insane.
Oh, that's what I loved about going to music festivals, when they would bring out surprise guests. And then, like, I remember seeing Jay-Z, and he brought Beyonce out at the end. And I just thought, oh my God, this is heaven. Like a special guest that you love. And Vanessa Carlton is one that you would not expect Drake to bring out. Mm-hmm. But it did make me forget about the Kendrick thing for just one brief moment. I'm like, I love that Drake stepped aside and just said, I'm just going to be goofy.
That's a rare Drake W. I'll give him that.
He needs it. And who thought it would be through Vanessa Carlton? So I'm happy for Drake that he did that. Now, also, let's see here. While you were out of town, Summer House started filming, and you did. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but you had an affiliation with one of the cast members.
Oh, yeah.
One of the new cast members.
I couldn't remember if I told you that one of the new girls, Levi, we have like mutual. Yeah. I won't say exactly how, because I don't want to like dox everyone involved, but like we have mutual people. And so I've met her before. She's really lovely and sweet. Like I've only met her a couple of times. Not like, super tight. We follow each other on Instagram. But yeah, she's super sweet. She has really fun, eclectic style. She's like a cool girl. So I think she'll be a really fun addition, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, this is the second weekend of filming. Lindsay wasn't there the first week. I haven't heard anything about the second weekend, so hopefully they've got some good stuff going. But somebody DM'd me this yesterday, and I thought it was about Jesse Solomon. And I think, like, Jesse Solomon, and I know you don't watch this, but, like, to me, Jesse Solomon is a living embodiment of somebody that should be on Love Island USA. Now, Jesse Solomon would knock it out of the park. They do all of these like fetish challenges where people are licking feet and all of that. Jesse Solomon would crush it on Love Island USA. In fact, I want to trade Jesse Solomon from Summer House to Love Island. He might be past the age limit for Love Island USA, but I think he would ascend on that show.
One of my girlfriends actually is in the Hamptons this weekend, or was. And she saw the Summer House cast in multiple locations. And she took like I was like, did you say hi? And she was like, no, I was too nervous. But she took a bunch of photos of them. And I was like, whose teeth are bigger in person, Carl's or Jesse's? And she said Carl's.
Oh, see, now that Carl said he had such a teeth issue at the reunion, I feel bad.
Okay, now you're gonna make me feel bad. I was just repeating the tea that I got.
No, but I want to. What I'm saying is, I'm pro. Like, I want to help Carl with his teeth. I had a moment of weakness, Sophie, the other day.
Oh God. Did you DM Carl?
Maybe.
What'd you say?
I said, "Hey man, I said, hey, man, where can I get one of those soft bar hats?" And by the way, I was not trolling. I was 100%.
Did he respond?
No, thank God he did not respond. In fact, I should go back and delete that because he...
Wait, who was it Jax or Schwartz that was wearing it on the Valley?
Schwartz was wearing it on the Valley when he helped Jax move out.
And when I saw Carl at... not JFK, LaGuardia, he was wearing it, and I thought it looked like a nice hat. Yeah. Also, wait, did you see that TikTok of two girls on city bikes driving past, because the address of Soft Bar has been revealed in Brooklyn. It's in Greenpoint. Yeah. And they biked past Soft Bar to be like, okay, apparently it's opening soon. Let's check on it. Yeah. It is still like a garage / construction site.
Well, I mean, he said, I think on his Instagram this week that it is opening this summer, which I would imagine that will be his storyline on Summer House.
When I saw him at LaGuardia, he told me July. So
we're in July. Okay, I'm like, what month are we in? We're in July.
We're literally in hot summer nights.
I gotta tell you, though, I have so many shameful moments in my life, but I will say, I was ashamed after I sent that DM. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's like after you send a risky sext.
Yeah, then I was like, you up? And I sent a picture of my dick. And then I was like...
Your tan line?
My dick with a tan line? Carl, I've been I've been sunbathing my shaft for you, and I put a little ring on it. So, is there anything of interest?
Wait, remember when like girls would go to the tanning bed in high school and they would do like the little Playboy bunny?
Yes. That was a thing, right? Like that doesn't still exist.
That was a universal. That was a universal thing. The little Playboy.
That's amazing. Okay, so obviously Summer House, we don't really have a lot of information, and that's fine. Now, Southern Charm, they just finished filming, or they're about to finish filming, and they're starting to film season 4 of Southern Hospitality about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But I saw last night or the night before, Austin took all the Southern Charm cast to Fish in concert.
Oh, that's what they weren't.
Craig was
filming
there.
it, right?
Whitney was. No, but my God, if they did a Fish episode of Southern Charm, I would lose my ever-loving mind. But you saw Craig there, you saw Whitney there, you had like pretty much all the dudes. It would be great if Shep was there. If Miss Patricia was there, that would be amazing. Miss Patricia at Fish.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Oh my God, anyways. It did remind me of when I saw Fish at the Sphere. I bumped into Austin outside, and I was like, "Hey, man, can I get a picture?" Like he didn't realize I was the troll,
being what are they called? Fish heads. Fish heads. Yeah. Him being a fish head, I feel like is like his one redeeming quality. Like that's actually like cool and interesting about him.
It is hard to reconcile. Like when you find somebody's a fan base of something that you like, it is then hard to reconcile certain people's actions. And I was talking to Rebecca this week about like good and bad. And that's like the wrong question to ask, is that we all have this mixture of both. We make so many mistakes. It's not about good and bad. I do believe there is evil in the world, but it's like, yeah, we all fuck up, and men especially, we fuck up royally so much. And you can either choose to be a Jax Taylor, or you can choose to be, not that I think Austin has redeemed himself, but not everybody is a Jax Taylor.
I've never minded Austin that much. Like I have never thought that he was like that bad.
Honestly,
I think he's a regular bozo.
Well, I mean, I think you get lost in the sauce. I think he grew up nerdy. And then I think when you get female attention, I think that is something that...
Wait, remember?
I think nobody prepares you for that.
Remember I was at that one summer house party like a couple summers ago? And I think it was like 4 years ago at this point. And I like talked to Austin, and I was single then. It was before I met Henry. And I was like, oh my God, he's tall and like cute. I wasn't like hitting on him per se, but like he's tall.
Tall.
And then on that episode, I like watched it later. It was the same party. He was like, there are no hot girls here. That's like my favorite story.
Oh my God. I just thought like, if I got invited to a summer house party, what I would do, and I'd be in it for the long haul, I would like find a way, like I would get away from anybody I was with. I would sneak in, and then I would hide in their closet.
No, oh my God. It was like a COVID summer. So it was 2021, I think.
Was it Hannah's last?
No, Hannah's last season was when they filmed in 2020, I believe. Remember, she had a breakdown when they were all like quarantined. So it was the summer after that, 2021. And so no one was allowed in the house, which was annoying because I wanted to explore the house.
Yeah, no, but see, I know, like I figured there'd be guards at all the doors of the house. So I'd find a way to distract the guard.
Guard sees him. We had to use porta potties, and then I was like, "Who do you think you're talking to? I'm not using a fucking porta potty. Let me in the house. I'm Craig Conover." That was me.
Well, in my thing, I distract the guards. I get in the house. I play the long game. Like I was like, it would have been perfect for last season if I'd like hid in Emerald's closet, and then all of a sudden I'm in there for like the Jesse Tosuck thing.
You're under the bed.
No, yeah, under the bed or in the closet, and then all of a sudden in like that 37 minutes, like on the 36th minute, I just pop out of the closet, and I'm like, hey, like that's I'll never be invited to a summer house party. Anyways, summer house, but then Demois had a story this weekend. Paige DeSorbo is also over. All the girlies are overseas. Paige DeSorbo allegedly still with Charlie D'Amelio, and there is
Charlie D'Amelio.
D'Amelio, is that how do you
Joe D'Amelio?
Joe.
Dixie D'Amelio.
She is now a lesbian. She's with Joe D'Amelio, the guy that was the rumored person that she was dating a long time ago when all the Craig stuff broke. There was a picture from behind, so I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but Demois put it out. And
she's wearing, so I didn't fully believe it was her at first because her hair looked really long. But then people matched it up to a photo of her that she posted. It's the same exact outfit down to like the handbag and the bracelets. And then there were more photos released that like you could tell it was her. They were still from behind. I was like, who took these photos? Like, I was wondering if, because first of all, I know that Paige, along with a lot of Bravo celebrities, have a relationship with Demois.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And by the way, from what, I mean, Demois has never told me this herself, but she has told me, yes, she has had those relationships and they're not giving information on each other. She's very clear on, but she'll have like DM relationships. And I believe one of those people has been Paige in the past.
Yeah. And I don't think she would release these photos unless it got the okay from Paige. So the fact that they were released by Demois, who we know has a relationship with Paige, and then also they were taken very up close by someone who may have been like an assistant, her mom. I think that this is Paige soft launching her like official relationship. I think that this was like a soft launch.
And the thing is, like, it's like, good for her. I truly don't care. She's
getting some good Italian D after escaping the throes of Craig Conover. And
this guy kind of reminds me of the former boyfriend before Craig. In looks wise.
Oh, Perry. Yeah, he's like stocky and like
well,
Italian
Craig,
looking.
Yeah, like Craig, I think is so conventionally handsome.
He's like all American, Craig.
Yeah,
and I mean, they're like a little more tall, dark, and handsome.
Well, what I would say, if you compare this guy, and no offense, I'm sure this guy is not listening, Joe D'Amelio with Craig. If you're going looks alone, you'd pick Craig, I think, 9 times out of 10. And so it just goes to show you. I don't know, though.
It depends. It depends because Craig, to me, is not attractive, like, at all.
I think you're insane. I think he's so attractive. Really?
Ryan, you are not. How many times have I tell you are not attracted to men? So you don't know what it's like. What makes a man attractive.
But I still think I have a general knowledge of attractiveness.
I think it's also knowing Craig's personality. Like his personality and his voice make him so much less attractive. I literally would not sleep with Craig. Like I would not, even if I were single, even if we were like the last 2 people on earth, maybe.
Oh my God.
Like with Joe D'Amelio,
now I really do want the end of the world to happen and the last 2 people are you and Craig.
I'm like, so what now?
This is so awkward. Like, I guess we did that.
But also like him being there with her family is obviously like, that's like serious.
Yeah. No, I think this is a serious relationship and good for her. I mean,
good for her.
And by the way, this is what's amazing about her not being on Summer House. She does not have to share anything else about this relationship with us.
She does not have to. I think where it gets tricky for her is that she says that she tells the gigglers everything. And that the gigglers always know first, and that the gigglers know everything about her. So I think the only people that may feel a little confused are like her podcast listeners.
Yeah, the parasocial relationship does get sometimes
and it is a very intense parasocial relationship that the gigglers have with her.
What is even interesting, I'm sure with Snarkbait or even with this, is that I think my listeners by now realize like I'll go through waves of like happiness and depression, and I don't mean bipolar, but like I'll answer like a bunch of DMs that are right in front of me, and then the majority of them I don't open them at all. Like I just don't have it in me. Like, and I try to explain that to people, and sometimes people will think I'm a jerk for it or this, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. Sometimes I just mentally can't do that, and it's very hard.
I'm so bad at DMs, and I always feel really guilty about it, but it is kind of like I'm someone who struggles with my mental health and also has really bad ADHD, and I get very overwhelmed. I know that's not a good excuse, and I try to answer as many as I can, but like, I don't know. I don't even have that many followers. You have like 10 times more followers than me. I can't even imagine how many DMs you get.
But then you'll get to like, I randomly saw one, and I haven't replied to this person, but somebody was door dashing and just thanking me for the long shows, and like I'm door dashing listening to you being a DoorDash driver, and I thought it made me so happy last night, but I still didn't respond to that person. How messed up is that? But I was like, remember going like, oh, that's so nice, that's so cool.
Yeah, and like sometimes I'll read it and be like, oh my God, love that, and then I'm like, oh my God, I never responded. Wait, Ryan, I forgot to mention, I mentioned this in Snarkbait also, so Jennifer is getting a shout out twice. I met a baby Snark / baddie in the wild at JFK on my way to vacation.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Isn't that crazy when that happens?
She was awesome. That had like never happened. I've gotten recognized from like literally my Twitter. Like from my Twitter, Yeah, I don't think that I've ever been recognized by like a baby Stark or a baddie in person. I mean, maybe I have, but they've never said hi. But she was great.
Oh, that's
So
amazing. I love
that
that.
was really exciting.
Well, anyways, basically, just don't hate us, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm so not good at this part of things, and this is still so low level, but whatever. Thank you, guys. Now let's get to the Valley, and more specifically, a revelation that came out towards the end of the week this week that I have not gotten Sophie's opinion on is that Sheena Shay, her new book, My Good Side by Sheena Shay, comes out in 2 weeks, I believe. And she revealed in an excerpt that was posted to Glamour that Brock cheated on her while she was pregnant. What are your thoughts, Sophie?
I mean, Brock is a piece of shit. Like, how many times he not only allegedly abused his wife back in Australia, abandoned his kids in Australia, cheated on his wife who's payroll he's on while she was pregnant. I think that, first of all, I think there's a lot to be said about the fact that none of this was shared on Vanderpump Rules season 11 when we desperately needed a storyline like this after Sandoval. Like we needed something. So I'm disappointed. I think it's a larger conversation about how reality TV isn't really reality anymore. It's so curated and like everyone is pandering to the audience too much and thinking about perception too much.
If you were pandering to the audience, I think Sheena would share it. I think Sheena would be like, look at me. And this she did. I think some things are so real. And that's where your heart does go out for Sheena. And even though I've seen some really wild, like, I mean, people like karma, and I'm like, I get all of that stuff, but my God, like she was fucking pregnant after losing a child. I wouldn't
wish that. Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. No, but by pandering to the audience, I think managing audience perception. I think that part of it was her trying to protect Brock because the audience already is like, this guy's a piece of shit. And so I think she was trying to protect Brock maybe. But yeah, I agree. The people saying
trying
karma,
to protect Brock. But trying to protect Brock, then the thing that I'm having Sheena on the podcast, I think this week, so I'm just going to ask her directly is if you're trying to protect Brock, I understand that. What's the decision that goes into releasing it now? What is that thought process that goes into releasing
to sell books?
To sell books, of course, but
and it's got people talking about the memoir and wanting to buy it more than they have ever. And then I think the other thing is, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, but this is my personal theory, is that I think that she is soft launching, not to use that term again, soft launching a divorce.
I did read this theory that, it's like when you talk about it finally openly, that means you're close to letting something go.
Yes.
I don't know. Like I don't know the family dynamic off camera between Summer Moon. Like her dad and Summer Moon seem to be always together, always while Sheena's off girl boss. And I mean, Sheena's a very present mom. I know that, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I think that is potentially, I think what she is saying in the book too is that we worked through it, or we are working through it. This is something that I've committed to, and maybe this is some form of growth as opposed to the Shay relationship, or I mean, I don't know. Like, but I think it is such an interesting thing and such a personal thing to share. And yes, would that have saved season 11 of Vanderpump Rules? I don't know, but it is interesting if you think about how hard Lala and her, not hard on Sheena's part,
went after Ariana,
but then if you look at it through the lens of she was dealing with this stuff and must have been so turned upside down of like, well, I don't fucking know. Like I'm staying with my husband, so we need to forgive Sandoval. Almost like if I'm forgiving my husband, maybe we do have to forgive Sandoval. And how many other people because I know she probably kept this very tight within her circle of friends. Who knew? Did Ariana know? And if you remember Brock was the one like, she's got to forgive it. Come on. She's got to forgive Sandoval, Ariana. We're a family. Remember, he was the one in those episodes pulling that shit because he knew he did that.
That's a really good point, actually, that I didn't think about.
Which, by the way, let me read you a little passage from this book. It's actually a really easy, fun read with a lot of dirt in it. But this is the Brock meeting with Sheena. There were only about 15 people at the house, so eventually our paths crossed. Brock had long hair at the time, which totally reminded me of Jason Momoa. I thought, wow, this guy looks like Aquaman. He was hot, even though he dressed a little funny, in loafers with tight pants that stopped at his ankles. He definitely looked like he was from LA, but he had a certain swagger that attracted me to him. I detected his accent immediately. Of course you detected his accent immediately. Are you out of your mind? How would you not detect his accent? Like,
it's like,
am I picking up on an accent? Yes, of course. You were. Anyways, that's a little snippet from My Good Side by
I
Sheena
detected
Shay.
his accent immediately, as opposed to like 3 months in. You're like, wait.
Wait a sec. This guy's hitting an accent the entire time.
Oh my God.
But it is so classic Sheena to put this out, and then it's something that she knows will anger a good portion of, this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the show, of just how fan bases are so angry these days.
Yes.
And you, like, because obviously the Ariana Sheena relationship, I think, is not completely in, disarray, but I still don't think they are as close as they once was,
And
know?
it doesn't sound like they ever will be, I think.
I don't know, but I'm curious what Lala knew and when. I mean, those are the question I want to know is like who all around them knew.
My question for you is now, do you maybe believe the Brock Hell rumors?
I said that the other day. I said, wow, if they really, well, no, because I was like, if you really want to sell books, that's what I would, it's like if that was Raquel and Brock.
But maybe Sheena still doesn't know.
No, well, I don't know, because Brock, according to the excerpt, is that Brock wrote a letter after he did this with all of the specific details, how many times they had sex, all of these specific details. And then they burned that letter, which I was like, oh my God, that would have been great in my reality show museum.
Oh my God, that would have been great at the Bravo Clubhouse.
Oh, fuck Bravo. What about my clubhouse, Sophie? And then she says she got so angry, she picked up a Rubik's Cube that they had and threw the Rubik's Cube. And I was like, I got to get my hands on that Rubik's Cube. If you had the Rubik's Cube that Sheena threw, and I know we're joking here, folks, but that is such a powerful piece of memorabilia.
Oh, 100%. She was like, I get triggered by Rubik's Cubes now.
Now, I will say, I think this secures Sheena and Brock's spot on season 3 of The Valley. I mean, hands down.
Oh, I think so too. And I think that was also one of the reasons that this was released.
See, I don't know. Like, Sophie, think about it. Like, I can't think 10 steps in front of me at any given time. But yet we always talk about celebrities like they are thinking 10 steps ahead at all times. Do we
They
really?
are.
I see some of it, like I find that hard to believe because, at the time she started writing this book, The Valley was in its infancy. And I don't know if you look that far ahead, but I will say, I do want to see a Brock Sheena conversation about this on The Valley. In fact, I think it would almost be lighter than the conversations we're having about SA, about Danny through Janet.
So I saw a theory also that the reason that Janet is so horrible to Nia and Danny is because she wants, apparently, and you would know more than me, I feel like, because you're more of like an insider, that the Valley producer said, we can't have another couple. That would be too many couples. And so she's trying to drive them off the show so that Sheena and Brock can be the other couple.
I will say from all the years like that I've spent talking to like cast members of like various shows and stuff is that these cast members are more in the dark than people think. Like I remember years ago talking to even Ariana when I had talked to one of the producers of Vanderpump. Like I was at a party. It was like not anything to do reality show related, just through a friend. And he was like, "Oh my God, Ariana's so great," like so complimentary. And I remember telling Ariana this years and years, like pre-pandemic, and she was like, "Oh my God, really? Oh, sometimes I don't even know if they like me." Like it was that kind of like in the dark about things. And I thought that was so interesting is that these people and I just don't think Janet has that kind of pull. And almost, I think Janet has put herself in a situation where I can't imagine this part of it is fun for Janet, where why would you want to stay? Obviously, you get paid better money in the 3rd season, but also
I think she miscalculated. Like, I think that she thought by saying, "Oh, crazy Kristen," and this person's a sniper from the side, like literally recycling Bravo quotes. I think that she is trying to be the audience proxy in a way, but completely miscalculated.
Well, I think it is being painted almost in that like Jasmine clocked her with earlier in the season with that Karen comment, is that you are being the, you are being the enforcer in the classroom almost. Mm-hmm. And that's not, so technically, like she says, she's right. When she uses the SA term, technically she is right if you go over that SA term, but then this is the second time this season that she has thrown out something so egregious and
she's
intense.
also weaponizing someone else's experience. Like,
well,
it's
even
not
Jasmine and Melissa, who it happened to, they even said on the boat, like, yo, stop talking about this. Please, we will be the ones to talk about this.
Exactly. So her weaponizing someone else's experience is bad.
But I knew there had to have been a second incident. I said this a while ago. I said there's no way Janet would go this hard unless there was more information, and I believe this was. So I'm curious more about this incident. But also remember when they had to edit out the Valley earlier this season when she brought up her hearing that Nia had been in Al-Anon.
Oh yeah.
And they had to edit it out of Watch What Happens Live that night as well, because she apologized for saying it on the episode. And then that got edited and Watch What Happens Live got edited. So that's the second time. Now, this is conspiratorial and maybe it's back up. But yesterday when I was doing my Patreon of the Valley After Show, it disappeared from the Peacock app. It was not on the Peacock app anywhere I looked. After show.
Wait, which episode?
The after show of this week. They have an after show for the Valley. So this week I watched it on Wednesday on the Peacock app. I went to do my recap yesterday on Saturday. It was nowhere on the Peacock app.
What?
And then, so I did finally find it broken up into two parts on YouTube. So why did it get taken off of Peacock? Why did it not get taken off of YouTube? And then I had certain people saying, no, I still see it on Peacock. But a vast majority of people, I put this on my Instagram, they were like, yeah, I can't find it either. So I don't know what is happening.
Why do you think that is?
There is a huge discussion about the SA and Danny.
Like the legalities of it.
Well, I mean, there is
I saw the Bravo docket.
Bravo docket, somebody sent me their post, which is actually so clarifying and smart and not the kind of idiotic discourse that I do. So I would highly recommend the Bravo docket's post on this to really clarify. And they really made a point of like, Janet has to be careful in these situations because just because you're married to a husband that's a lawyer, you have to prove intent. Danny, you have to prove that Danny was intending to do these things. And I do wonder if there is some sort of legality or, if I was Danny and Nia, did they potentially say, Janet, you got to knock it off or we're going to get the law involved. Like that was my first thought that popped into my head when I couldn't find it.
I mean, I would not be surprised.
But Sophie, when you watch that, do you get angry? Like, where did you stand on that? Like that conversation? Because I think it was like Janet knew that. Like, I think Janet had to have known at some point she was going to say those words.
I think it's frustrating that again, it wasn't her experience to weaponize, and this is something that he had worked out seemingly with Jasmine and what's her name, Melissa.
Yeah.
He had worked it out with them.
He had 2 conversations on camera, plus, from what my understanding, another 1 or 2 off camera.
And she has so much smoke for Danny and Nia. Danny specifically, obviously. But not Jax. Like, that is what gets me.
Well, and then the Jason of it all is that, like, wait, where is that line of, well, you still allow, like, Jason's still allowed to be around Jax. So are we saying Jax is harmless, even though we've seen now multiple times where he's not been harmless? That's
exactly.
That's the confusing part. Like, I really try to, like, the Valley turns into this kind of moral wrestling with yourself, the audience, where you're like, okay, well, like, Danny shouldn't be going around doing these things. If he's going around doing these things, yeah, now it's time to stop with the alcohol because it obviously makes part of your personality a real shit part. And we do have multiple people, including Jasmine and Melissa, say that did happen. And I believe them. So the thing is, if you're constantly pressing somebody on it, I don't know. Then that's what I get confused also. And then the after show is so brutal because Janet has a very specific thing that she said her husband said Danny said about, I've got a weakness for short skirts. Nia will always be up here, blah, blah, blah. And then they go to Jason in the after show. He's like, well, I didn't hear him say that, but I think Brittany and Jared did. And then they cut to Brittany and Brittany's like, I didn't hear that, but somebody else did. Schwartz.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just like so infuriating. And I mean, like, wait, I loved how everyone was like, Janet, fled the country.
I know.
And she was just like on vacation.
Well, I do want to say, and that's so, of course you're going to stand up for Janet because you fled the country a couple weeks ago.
I too fled the country because of just backlash.
I would love to flee the country.
Flee the country.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's got to be brutal. And I do wonder if, in retrospect, Janet has thought about things a little differently or how she approaches things, because you can't approach things like a live Reddit forum. You know, like this is a Reddit forum.
She's crazy, Kristen. I actually loved how Kristen clocked her as a fan. She was a fan of Vanderpump Rules. I didn't know that at first, but now that I know it, it's a little fucking weird.
But I think Doute knew that. I've been around that gang. Like but even they say that in the after show too, of Janet's like, yeah, like I've seen everybody that hangs around and they all act like they don't watch Vanderpump Rules. She's like, I openly admit I watch Vanderpump Rules. I do like Vanderpump Rules. Like, yes.
I think also like there's something so sinister about the way that she was like, I left my child to celebrate Doute's engagement.
Well, see, Sophie, that's the thing too, is I always wonder, and this is like Love Island USA too, is that we found out things this week in terms of the edit, is that everybody was mad at these girls on the Love Island villa for potentially being mad at Hubbard during the heart rate challenge, which I know this might sound like foreign language to you, Sophie, but then we found out this week when Ace and Shelley got out that they were like, there was a lot of things, I think Taylor and Clark talked, there were a lot of things that we didn't see. Things got edited out where Hubbard had been lying about things to the girls, so they were angry at Hubbard. There was a definite reason. They weren't just being mean girls. There was a definite reason, but the editors edited all of that out. And so the power of the edit, is really such a strong thing of what they want us to see as opposed to what actually happened. And even that's my frustration with Love Island, is that they're trying to edit it, like still trying to make it like this glorious love story. And these people have like, nobody OG that are getting to the end. It's all people that we like personality wise, or like nobody's truly, I believe, in any form of like real relationship that will last forever. But the edit makes it seem like it is like the Titanic. Like, oh my God.
What do they win at the end?
Just $100,000, but that's the funny thing is
each, or they split it.
They split it, and there's an option where you can actually take the whole $100,000 and steal it from your partner. So it's like 50-50, I believe. So it's not that much, but the brand deals will be worth millions. In fact, tonight the premiere of Love Island Beyond the Villa, following the season 6 cast members, it premiered early. Actually, they released it early today, and I watched the first episode. It was okay. It was fine, but the brand deals alone will make all of these people millionaires. And to my point, we're making.
I'm sorry. That's actually insane that you have like that's like the Traitors prize. It's like you have the #1 show in America and the prize is only $100,000. In this, once again, in this economy, that'll last a couple weeks.
I think it's because they know the
brand
power
deals.
of the brand deals they will get. In fact, like all of the cast offs so far, some of the Casa guys and girls, they're doing like a Love Island hype house in Los Angeles, and they're all making content together at this house in Los Angeles right now. And I'm like, yeah, I guess get yours. But to my point, we're making that's the thing right now. We're making people celebrities way too quick.
I know. I'm like, the more you talk about this, the more I'm like, once again, this is so dystopian.
Right? Like, I mean, because Sophie, think about like the fan base, like, or even talk about like Backstreet Boys. You were in sync. You fell in love with them over the course of these albums, this song, the music, the dance, all of this stuff. And now we've fallen in love with people that were on an island for 5 weeks. And Hubbard, who I think is still, I mean, she's the star of the show, but she's very troubling. And I think how she approaches certain aspects of interpersonal relationships, I'm trying to be kind. She will walk out of there. She has 2.7 million followers on Instagram, walking out of the villa. The second most followed is this Amaya at 2.2 or 2.3.
Wait, do they even know? Because they don't have their phones, or like, did their family tell them during the family visits?
Well, I mean, they edited it down. So what we got to see is that Hubbard found out the Mamacita thing was big.
That she's a meme.
She's like, Mamacita. And they're like, yeah. And so they didn't, that is the kind of funny thing, is that they don't realize, like, I mean, fucking Rebecca, Sophie, do you know, like, have you been on that TikTok where like, it's just the way you make me feel? And they did this whole song and dance in the first episode of Love Island where Hubbard's doing this dance and everybody's doing the dance on TikTok. And Rebecca is doing this nonstop. She is so obsessed with this dance. And I swear to God, she's done it 30 times already today. She'll pop in and she'll be like, it's just the way you make me feel. And she'll do the whole dance and she's obsessed with it. And Huda does not know that people are like making TikTok after TikTok. And so that's exciting to see. But then there's a dark side to all of that as well. And I just don't know if these people deserve it for 5 weeks of service on an island, you know?
Well, I think that everything is temporary. I know that the Beyond the Villa people got, the spinoff.
Yeah.
And that a lot of them, their followings will last for years and years. But like at the same time, it's like your relevance, the longer you're off of the show, your relevance will start to wane unless you like do something, unless you get a spinoff, unless you keep your followers really engaged. But like, look at all of the Bachelor contestants that were like massive celebrities at one point. Now, like no one really cares.
Sophie,
about them.
Bachelor in Paradise premiered last week. Nobody's talking about it.
Wait, Bachelor in Paradise premiered
last Monday.
I did not hear about it once. I didn't hear about it once.
Yeah.
I think that they fucked up by it overlapping with Love Island.
Oh, 100%.
They should have waited.
Big Brother
they should have
premiered
waited
on Thursday. And I'm like, these shows that really make you come to the table a couple times a week, you should have cleared out of the way of Love Island until after the premiere, after the finale.
Wait, it's so crazy how I feel like I'm literally the only person on the planet not watching Love Island. I've seen so many think pieces, like the New York Times, it's like, Love Island is bringing this country together. I'm like, what? What am I, like,
One of my favorite writers, Taylor Crumpton, just wrote a piece, I think, for Time Magazine that I loved. And, it seems to be the monoculture. I mean, even though you didn't watch it, it seems to be so many people are watching it. So that kind of... then Ariana's even getting shit this season. Did you see this?
No, why?
Because people are saying she got too involved online or she was liking comments. I mean, I think it's all bullshit, but also Ariana admits she is a huge fan of Love Island before she got this job. Like she watched all of it. So I think sometimes it's hard when you get to this, then when you interact with the fan base is always going to be angrier and we just get angrier and angrier. So I think and I'm sure this is like, I watched some of After Sun, which is like the talk show they do on Saturday nights about it. She had like a tearful moment just saying what a, intense, crazy season it's been. And, I know this is such a dream gig for her, but I would imagine what is probably sad, and this is pure speculation, is that she probably realizes next season when she comes back, she might not be able to get involved as much online because it just never is good. We make shit of everything.
As the host, you can't really. Like you just can't. Like you can't show bias like that as the host. Like you have to I think that she has this dream gig, and I'm not familiar with what posts or comments she's been making at all. But having this dream gig, the trade-off is that you cannot be a fan anymore. You are part of the show.
Yeah, I mean, that's the unfortunate trade-off. And I will say, I've never seen something so, insanely horrible that she said or liked or whatever, even though people want to make shit of everything. But I have seen her, she'll repost people with, no followers that love the show. And I see them get so excited when she does it. Like, oh my God, Ariana reposted this. And that's, really cool and really fun. But you might have to remove yourself from that part of it because the fandom is way too intense. And they will take anything out there, any little crap or just crumb, and they will make something of it. And you just don't want to, I don't know. I don't know. Production needs to figure it out. They can't just put out these pithy little statements of love everybody. People are getting death threats. The one Sierra girl had on her apology said people were calling ICE on her parents.
Oh my God, that's fucking awful. I mean, what she said was awful, but that is
but it's not. Horrible. I mean, it's not call ICE. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my God, people need to fucking get help. But from everything I've seen, Ariana's doing a great job. So it seems like she is, she's killing it, and she is in it for the long haul. What did you think of? I can't remember if we talked about it. What did you think of Paige's appearance? Because I know that she had a health.
She got sick. It was fine. But she was fine. She was fine. Megan Thee Stallion came on that same week, and Megan Thee Stallion destroyed it. She was so good. Paige was okay. She was okay, but I don't think she was feeling well. She wasn't bad. She was just okay. Okay. As we wind down here, we got so much more, though. I'm going to do some quick things here. Justin Bieber, have you listened to the new album Swag?
I love it. I actually love it. And I'm not a certified believer, but I think that it was great.
I will say I enjoyed it as well. So he worked with these two producers, Dijon and McGee. And McGee has a great album out, and you can tell just the guitar is this McGee. He does a very specific type of guitar playing. And I know John Mayer is actually a big fan of McGee. So I like it. I think it's a little bloated. I think you don't need those 2 sketches with Drewski. And it almost makes me worried once again about the people that Justin Bieber surrounds himself. I think it's a little directionless, but I enjoyed it more than I've enjoyed other Justin Bieber albums on the first listen.
I don't like the looks of his friends.
Not the looks. Okay, but did you listen to those sketches where Drewski's like, "Oh, I know what you were saying out there about standing on business. Do you want this black and mild, Justin? I know what you were saying." And Justin's like, "Well, this is what I was trying to say." Exactly, Justin. That's exactly what I thought you were. It just seems so kiss-assy that I was like, leave that shit off, because it does make me completely worry about you. That being said, I think the dude is insanely talented musically.
Yep. He's still got it.
But also I can tell how like real hardcore Bieber fans will not initially like this, because it's not that pop. There's like a couple songs that are like pop elements, but it's a little different.
It's like synthy, I think is the word. I don't know. You know more about music than I do.
McGee has this really interesting guitar playing where it almost sounds synth in a way. It's like, it's crazy so I did enjoy it. I just think it's a little bloated. Supposedly this is just album 1 of 2 that's going to be released. Now he did settle with Scooter Braun, and he's paying Scooter Braun $31.2 million.
Yes.
And this was interesting because when he canceled his Justice tour, Scooter Braun had to pay for all of those cancellations. So it was like $25 million in cancellation fees that Scooter Braun had to pay on behalf of Justin for that cancellation. And then he still owed Scooter like $7 million in royalties. So Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun, cut the deal, and Scooter Braun has $31 million more dollars. And then Scooter Braun over the weekend said, "This is the best album of Justin's career." This is like really a kiss-ass post for Justin. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that, but Christy and I talked about this on Dark Energy Tuesday coming out tomorrow about how, was this purposefully aligned, no pun intended, was this aligned because of the money that he owes Scooter Braun?
You mean the album itself?
The album coming out at this time to generate income, because he has not been really doing much for the past few years. He suddenly owes $30-something million.
And here's an album. Here you go. Well, and he announced his album with less than a day's notice that it was coming out. So all of a sudden we found out, the day of, that a Justin Bieber album is coming out. Now, I do not think this kid is healthy enough to do a world tour. So it'll be interesting to see where Justin Bieber goes from there. But I was like, oh, I'm into this album a little bit. I like
the photo shoot they did, him and Haley and Jack Blues Bieber. And they're like in an abandoned barn wearing wife beaters. I
wonder who scouted out the abandoned barn,
Yeah.
And also the Haley, I love people just going through the lyrics saying like if he loves Haley or not. Like people are just so obsessed. Oh my
God. The Selenators. It reminds me of, remember Kim's like first post after her robbery? You're the only person that I can ask if you remember this.
Oh, Kim Kardashian?
Yeah. Like Kim and Kanye, and they're like cosplaying as like poor people in like a dirty like apartment. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh my God.
And I love how you're the only person. I'm like, do you remember that back in 2016?
It's so sad. Oh, Sophie, I was going through, like Apple Photos will give you like in this day in.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. Like pre-podcast, pre-everything. Like I was going through like 2017 photos where I was like screenshotting like Rob and Black China. And I was like, where in my mind did I think I needed this in my camera roll? Sophie, I literally, if you go like to actual life events as opposed to celebrity events, I'd say actual life events, I have 1% in my cell phone and 99% just shit, just horrible shit.
Wait, you know how your phone recognizes faces, like people that are in your life? Mine recognizes Kim Kardashian, Joe Burrow, Jax Taylor. I have a whole Jax Taylor that it recognizes in my phone.
Wait, are you Justice for Jax? Are
Wait,
you running that account?
Ryan, you're in here too.
Oh, no way. Oh, well, no, what I have, my phone recognizes Batman.
I have a Timothy Chalamet. Oh,
look. I have Khloe. I have Khloe Kardashian. I have Khloe. I have Kylie. I have Kendall. I have my mom. My mom is 5th. Like all the
Oh my
Kardashians are.
God.
I have Erica Jane. I have Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born is recognized.
Fuck no, I have Nick Viall.
Oh, well, the will they won't they between you guys is insane.
I know, between me and enemies to lovers.
Which, by the way, Joe Burrow is in the second season of Netflix's Quarterback that premiered last week. Have you watched it yet?
Okay, so I started watching it, but it's rehashing this terrible past season. And you guys know that, like, I'm such a football girl. Like, I just, like, you know, I get really, like, upset about when the Bengals lose. And it's rehashing all of, like, the losses and the terrible moments and the terrible games. And I just, like, can't get myself to watch it. But I've been watching too much on Netflix, and I'm obsessed. You know that I'm a
So
Lena
that's
Dunham.
the new Lena Dunham on Netflix with Meg Stalter. Now, she directed, wrote, and starring in this. I have not started this yet, but it is on my list. So you recommend too much with Lena Dunham.
Oh, I love it. But I also, like, I was a huge fan of Girls. am a huge fan of Emily in Paris. It's kind of like those two things combined.
How is Meg Stalter? Because I love her on Hacks and I love her comedy
hilarious.
online. Is she good?
I think
I was
she's
worried
hilarious.
from an acting standpoint, and this isn't a slam, but I was just like, I didn't know. Sometimes somebody can be so funny, but like their actual acting when it comes to carrying a show can sometimes be like, oh, can she carry a show?
No, I think she's fabulous. I think that the real star, I mean, she is the real star, but Will Sharp,
the dude from White Lotus,
is just incredible.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that. But the Joe Burrow thing cracked me up because the clip I did see from it was him talking about
Fossils?
No, not buying, like he had to return the Batmobile. He decided not to go ahead with buying it.
He got robbed, which like traumatized him, obviously.
And so he had bought one of the original Batmobiles from the Dark Knight franchise, I think.
Yeah.
And he said he's in a very telling moment. He says he couldn't. He decided not to take it.
Think about it. Like, I know someone actually in Cincinnati who was a famous crooked lawyer named Stanley Chesley, a whole thing about him. But he allegedly, but he did get disbarred. Anyway, he was driving his Rolls Royce and, you know, people saw this Rolls Royce and followed him home and robbed him. And so that happens. Like, if you're driving a flashy car and then you drive home, some people might take notice. Like, a freaking Batmobile, you're not going under the radar with that, Joe Burrow. Like,
yeah, because Joe Burrow isn't Batman. If Batman gets followed home, he's Batman. He can handle himself. Joe Burrow is not Batman. Unfortunately, he's not Batman. So of course he's not. Like, you don't want that kind of smoke,
right?
Also, finally, last two things. I swear. Denise Richards, Aaron, her husband, has filed for a divorce. They also announced this weekend Denise Richards and Her Wild Things, the show that had a first season on Bravo, is not returning, which I thought that would make it almost like a sure bet to have a second season when somebody is going through a divorce. But what do you think about the divorce news with Denise and Aaron?
I was surprised by that. I also never got around to watching the Denise Richards and Her Wild Things show. Like, there was nothing like, and I always loved Denise Richards. Like, I watched her on Beverly Hills, obviously. I love Denise Richards, It's Complicated, back in the day. But I just there was nothing about it that really like ever captured my attention. And so I just never got around to watching it.
It's really hard to get people to watch anything these days. I mean, it's like there's so much demand for our attention.
And also I'm guilty also of being like, I don't want to put down my phone right now. So like, I'm just not going to start a new show right now because I'm busy doing phone stuff.
Dude, I've got to stop this because I'm making more choices to just watch TikTok at the end of the night.
I know. It's sad. It's really sad.
It's so bad.
But you know what? Like, I actually made a conscious decision to put down my phone to watch too much on Netflix because I knew the writing and the dialogue was going to be really good because it's a Lena Dunham show. And I know that Lena Dunham, she's my problematic fave, unfortunately. But yeah, people, so it's like some shows. When I read
about her, people are like literally still like, fuck Lena Dunham. And I'm like, wow, people really still are like, really hate Lena Dunham.
She has done and said some really fucked up things over the years. So yes, I'm not defending those, but I will defend the fact that Girls was a masterpiece. She is a brilliant writer. I also loved her memoir. I just think that she's a really, really, really talented writer. So it's like,
have you ever seen her first film, Tiny Furniture?
Yes.
That was great.
Also a fabulous movie. So it's like, I'm a fan of her work. What can I say?
Yeah. Wait, sorry, Sophie, can you do 10 more minutes? Because I just realized I
Yeah.
have two more things. Okay, sorry. So I know you haven't seen Real Housewives of Orange County, but I did want to actually present one.
Oh, yeah. Tell me the drama with the Bravo babe, because I'm lost.
So I guess there's a couple, like there's the Bravo babe, who is a Bravo creator in that, like, you know, Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff. The Bravo babe. And then who was the second creator? But anyways, there was somebody else that I'm blanking on now. But Katie Janela, so Tamra, like Bravo Babe posted something about Tamra, and it was like speculation that Tamra was running like kind of like accounts to like talk shit about other people and make herself look better or whatever. And Tamra threatened the Bravo Babe with lawyers, all of this stuff. Katie Janela allegedly then like had a relationship with the Bravo Babe.
Wait, who threatened the Bravo Babe?
Tamra was like,
okay.
you will be talking to my lawyer. And I think the Bravo Babe was probably a little scared, like anybody would be with that kind of threat. And I think she had a previous relationship with Katie in some way. And Katie and her husband, Matt, allegedly called the Bravo Babe to say, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And Katie is lying in this first episode. Now, the first episode presents it where you're like, Katie's just protecting her family. And Katie is saying, I can't pull, like, there's no phone service here, so I can't pull it up on my phone. And so you almost kind of not side with Katie, but really empathize with her because she's sticking up for her family. But then the Bravo Babe is like, no, like I've got the receipts right here. She called me and she's lying about me, saying that she never called me. Like she 100% did. And it's hard. Like when Bravo creators get involved in the actual storylines, it's sometimes my least favorite storyline because they're never going to be a cast member on this show.
Why is Katie lying?
That's what I'm so curious about. Like
why lie at this point? It's like,
did she just get lost? Like, yeah, but like also why not say like, yeah, I'm sorry. You were attacking this creator.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, and I met Katie one time at Jeff Lewis and she was so nice. I loved her on the first season of the show. But obviously all of these women, it seems like they're attacking Katie. But if Katie is doing these things and reaching out to creators and like hooking interviews up with other podcasters, that is something that I would understand these ladies would be upset about. But in the narrative, It's going to be so interesting how it plays out with the edit because people could actually then end up supporting Katie more. Now, Katie has still not come out and said, you're right, I did lie. I did have communication with this blogger.
What did the Bravo Babe
calling them blogger? Like, should we be calling ourselves? We're not bloggers.
I know. What did the Bravo Babe originally say about Tamra, that she threatened legal action?
It was that it was kind of like that Lisa Rinna back in the day that she was running fake accounts.
That she was like had burner accounts.
Yeah, like running fake accounts that were putting out potential misinformation, I believe.
Oh.
But the thing is,
wow.
Sophie, like you're going to tell me like everybody in that OC conversation, I bet if you went into their DMs, they all interact with each other. I can give you 10 examples. I mean, like, I'm sorry. I'm like every franchise across the board. Like thankfully, it's just not the area in which I am privileged. Like I'm privileged enough to be able to just do these stupid jokes and all that, but I don't go into DMs and go, give me this information. If people want to give me information,
you only go into Carl's DMs for us.
Exactly. You do have a hat, but like, exactly. But I wouldn't be like, hey, have you slept with anybody on the season? Like I would never ask
you're
that
not like
specific
looking
of a
for
question.
tea.
But also, Sophie, when I've gotten tea, like maybe me and you have talked about it off mic, but I've not talked about it on mic.
Right,
like I try to protect myself in that way.
Right.
But I don't know how you deal in these situations when you start talking and like playing podcast clips and all of that. It gets hard for the audience because I think we get so confused about who to follow and what to do and all of this. You know, it's kind of Thunderdome-ish.
Oh God, that sounds dramatic.
Yeah, it is very dramatic.
How is Katie's daughter involved?
Because she went on a podcast, the All About the Real Housewives podcast, who have a successful podcast, and I think they actually do run a blog, but she did an interview with them. Like, yeah, like also, no shade to that podcast. Like, I would never take that interview, but like, no shade to them. It's just when kids get involved, whether it be older kids or younger kids, I just always think that's like, it gets a little dicey.
Yeah. So it was just that she went on the podcast.
She went on the podcast, but then also there is Emily's pissed because supposedly Emily's housekeeper that she had to hire a lawyer now to put a cease and desist out there was that Katie allegedly hooked up the housekeeper saying that the kids were talking shit about Heather Dubrow, hooked the housekeeper up with the girls from All About the Real Housewives podcast. So Katie was being a middleman of like, oh, you want to talk more shit? Let me introduce you to this podcast friends.
That's weird.
That is weird. It is weird. So, but I don't know if Katie will ever fully admit that she did this. Now, I will say this is like news. Maritza makes the show posts, and she'll make these great graphics of all the scenes. And I did post one of them with Katie getting a new car with Shannon. And Matt, who doesn't follow me, like he was in the DMs with like a little devil emoji. And I was like,
Matt who?
Katie's husband, Matt
Katie's
Janella.
husband.
And I didn't respond back to that yet, but I thought that was weird. I was like, just stay offline. Just do the show, collect a paycheck. I mean, like, I don't know. You know, it just seems like it inspires bad things.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Yeah. You didn't watch, I finished Squid Game season 3. You didn't watch Squid Game, did you?
did. I did finish it. Wait, can
what
we
the
talk
fuck
about
with the ending? I was like, what? Like, who just showed up out of nowhere?
I didn't like hate the ending. Kate Blanchett. What I hated. Spoiler. What I hated were the fucking VIPs.
Well, they were such bad.
They were such bad actors. They sounded dubbed.
I think they were dubbed weirdly enough in English. It was such a weird dub on those voice actors.
I got so mad every time they were on screen. They were so pointless. They were the worst actors. I was like, these are supposed to be like chic billionaires.
And, they're in masks. It takes a lot to act bad while in a mask.
I got so fucking mad every time they were on screen. I would be like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Well, I thought it was good. I was very sad about losing the main guy, but I thought it was very well done. But
Player
I really,
what is he for?
4, 5, 6. Player 4, 5, 6. But I would have thrown that baby off that thing so quick. Oh, it wouldn't even be a thing.
Well, I think so I think that like a lot of people would, and there's nothing necessarily wrong. I mean,
I'm joking. There's nothing. Wait. No. Okay, say it slower. There's nothing.
Let me rephrase that. I think a lot of people, the point of the game is that you do whatever you can to survive. Yes. And so like people that are like, I have no fucking relation to this baby, even though the baby didn't choose to be in these games. Like that's the part that sucks. I think that Ji-hoon was trying to make good after his failed coup that led to the deaths of so many people, including his best friend. Jung Bae, I think was his best friend's name. And so I think that was his, like, I am trying to get redemption here and do right, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, that baby better go on to do good things. But I was so taken aback when I saw the Kate Blanchett thing like a meme, and I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought, and then Kate Blanchett all of a sudden shows up. They're in Los Angeles, which David Fincher is directing the American version of Squid Game. So does that mean Kate Blanchett is the lead in the new Squid Game, or the lead bad guy in the actual American
or
version?
Just the salesman?
But does that mean she's like signed? Because David Fincher is directing Squid Game.
Yeah, Netflix. That maybe she's the salesman in the U.S. version. An ending that I think would have been good would be if Ji-hoon, the main guy, if he actually did survive again and end the games, and then he like sees his daughter in L.A., he saves the baby, and then that's when he's like, oh fuck,
they're doing it here too.
They're doing it here.
That's the only thing. And I know, like, it was a great ending, but I just wanted him to survive. So I was like, that was the only bummer, but everything else was really good. I highly recommend it. And then finally, our shitheads of the week. This Martina Navratilova, or however you say her fucking name, the tennis pro on Real Housewives of Miami, married to Julia. She is now this Twitter. Everybody shut the fuck up. She then came out against, what was the tweet? She
came out against surrogacy,
which I want to remind, if you are married to somebody, Julia on Real Housewives of Miami, whose boss, I mean, for all intents and purposes, is Andy Cohen, whose 2 kids are through surrogacy. First off, and also I firmly believe in surrogacy. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. You are so disgusting. And you to use Twitter like a hateful platform to spread this shit around. It really pissed me off. Like that really pissed me off when I saw it.
What what was even the point of saying that? Like, what was the context that she was talking about this?
She gets involved all the time. She's anti-trans. She'll just get into these conversations and rants on Twitter. And she was responding to somebody and she retweeted them and put like, and she tried to have a pithy joke about like, we can't have it all, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you just have a new kid through adoption. You shouldn't even have a kid at your age, a new baby. I'm sorry. Like, if we're going to play that kind of game, I just think it's disgusting and it really pissed me off. I will say, on the other hand, I completely agreed with Donald Trump in getting rid of Rosie O'Donnell, though. I'm fucking joking. Fuck that too. Are you kidding me?
You know what?
A president is going after Rosie O'Donnell. It's like if Donald Trump went after Arsenio Hall. Like, just tell us where the Epstein files are. Period.
You know who Donald Trump should be going after? Jax Taylor.
Oh, by the way, if he had woken up after not releasing the Epstein files after he said he was going to release them and went after Jax Taylor, I think he would have gotten a lot more goodwill than Rosie O'Donnell. I think people would have been like, hey, that actually makes a lot of sense, Mr. Trump. That makes a lot of sense. You're talking sense.
You know what? I really miss Rosie O'Donnell on it just like that. That was like, there was hope at the beginning of the season.
I just did a monologue on TikTok about this where I'm like, it really says something about the season of a show where you're like, I will watch it and I just wonder where Rosie O'Donnell's character is. And I hope she's somewhere beautiful with Che Diaz, like singing Wicked together or something.
I will say that the freaking unkempt beard guy, what's his name?
Oh, the gardener that is hooking up with Seema?
Yeah, the gardener that's hooking up with Seema, when he sings, she's got Betty Davis eye. Singular.
Yeah, because Seema's wearing an eye patch. I mean, this show is such a wreck. And the fact that this downstairs neighbor, Carrie didn't know she had, who's like a brilliant writer, is like, your writing is so amazing. This first line. It's like, fuck you. Carrie's a bad writer and you know it. Carrie's always been a bad writer. It's fine.
All of the sentences that she reads out loud are like the worst sentences I've ever heard.
Yeah. Also, do you think it might be because this older dude might want to sleep with you? Like, it's like, also Aiden, the fucking fact that Aiden cheated with his ex-wife and that doesn't even matter at all. Aiden
needs to go.
I have a feeling like Carrie's going to do something with this downstairs and it's going to be like it's going to be Aiden's 13th reason. He's going to annihilate his family. Like it's like, I think something bad or something ridiculous. I keep saying like Carrie's going to be pregnant weirdly at like the age of 52. She's like, I don't know how it happened, but I'm pregnant.
Aiden turning into a family annihilator when Carrie hooks up with the downstairs neighbor, like that actually like would be an interesting twist.
Because think about how many times Carrie has fucked with Aiden's head over like, Sex and the City. Like, it would be the final time. It was like, oh my God, it was the downstairs neighbor.
I just don't understand why the writers are so set on keeping Aiden around. Like, that's not like, we don't watch Sex and the City to watch Carrie be wiped up.
Oh, well, I'll go one further. I don't know why the writers are obsessed with having Carrie stay around. Like, let's get rid of also, I don't give a fuck about this lady's documentary that we keep talking about. Thank God we didn't talk about it this week.
And how her dad died twice.
And then the writer said, oh, that was actually a stepdad that died the first time. So they tried to correct it.
Oh, was it? Oh my God.
And that karaoke scene was way too long. Like, it is such a funny bad joke.
Bad. It's so bad. It's good.
How we started earlier, though, it doesn't matter. It's the #1 most streamed television show on HBO Max. So it doesn't matter.
I mean, like, I don't miss an episode, so.
No, and by the way, if they actually all of a sudden turned it into a good show, I think there would be a part of me that would be disappointed. Like, you know what I'm saying?
If they canceled it, like, I would actually be depressed.
I will pick it if they cancel this show. No, there's no way they're canceling anything. They're all making so much money. Everything's great. Whoop-de-doo. Also, congrats to Superman.
She's got Betty Davis eye.
Superman, #1 at the box office, $122 million.
Wow.
So congrats to Superman. I'm going to see it Tuesday night.
Henry wanted to see it tonight, actually.
He's a Marvel guy, so that's a big thing. Well, if you go see it, will you text me what he thought of it?
Yeah, no, I want to see it. Like, I think that David Corn's sweat is just really hot.
He's really tall too. He's another one of the tallest.
Yeah. And he's a Jew.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That was the other thing I kept seeing on like Fox News of like woke Superman. I'm like, get the fuck out. He's Superman.
Oh my God.
Down, everybody. Calm down.
Shut up.
Okay, you guys, Snarkbait, Dark Energy Tuesday is coming out on Tuesday. They'll have also another episode. Also, their Patreon is excellent. Patreon.com/Snarkbait. But we missed you, Sophie, even though Christy is amazing. We missed you. Thank you. I hope you feel better. And anything else that we need to know?
No, that's about it. Sorry about like my extra nasally, extra annoying voice today.
I thought actually it sounded better than it does most weeks.
Oh my God. Wow. That was like a wow.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get back at you for earlier when you kept joking about how old I am, but it's fair. Anyways, let me know where you can get soft bar hats, you guys. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.